Good evening, everyone. This is your boy Uncle Sam here. We're actually going to be playing Slay the Spire today. Played this game quite a bit. Not the greatest at it, I would say. Got 102 hours of playtime though. But I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do a journey from Ascension 1 to Ascension 20. So thank you all for joining me today. So starting out, we have 3 characters we can choose from. We have the Ironclad. His perk's going to be the ability to heal 6 HP after each combat. We have the Silent. At the beginning of each combat, they'll draw 2 additional cards. And the Defect, who will start combat with a Lightning channeled. That Lightning is going to allow them to do 3 additional damage after each turn. But we're going to start off with the Ironclad and see how things go on this first run. Alright, so we're going to talk to this Rail Lord and check out our map. So here in the map settings, we're going to see hallway fights, which are these enemies. Unknown rooms. We've got merchants, so we'll be able to buy cards, remove cards, buy relics, and some potions there. We have elite fights, which are going to be those big, you can think of them as mini bosses. We have a campfire or a rest area that's going to allow us to upgrade our cards or rest to get some HP back. And then at the very top we have our big boss. So this is going to be our slime boss. He's not too difficult. So starting out, we get to choose 4 different options so we can transform a card. So we start out with 5 strikes, 4 defense, and a bash. So we can transform one of those. Typically what I would do is transform a strike. We want to get rid of those as soon as possible. Max HP is always a plus. And then we have, we can lose 8 max HP, get an additional random rare relic, which could be very good. Or we can lose our burning blood, which heals us 6 HP for a random boss relic. Generally, I don't do this a whole lot, so we're going to go ahead and transform a card. Let's see what we get. Hemokinesis. So Hemokinesis is one of those BDSM cards, I would say. You take 3 HP from your own, and you're going to deal 14 damage. The upgrade of this is pretty nice. You only lose 2 HP, and you deal a whopping 18 damage for a cost of 1 energy. Magnificent. So we're going to see which way up we want to go. So generally, I like having at least 2 elite fights in the store. So we'll be able to do that. We hit the store, we'll get elite, 2 elites, and 3 rests, so that'll be a good opportunity for us. And we're actually on slow draw. You know, I think for this playthrough, we're going to go ahead and keep it on slow draw. Just do some different experiences here. So bash is going to cause a vulnerable. That vulnerable is going to allow the enemy to take 50% more damage for the next 2 turns. So we can see that 50% of 60 is 3, so it's going to take 9 damage. Unfortunately, I got 5 block from getting hit, so we're going to use that Hemokinesis and white Hemo. This guy, he's got a strategic turn, so he's just preparing to buff himself for the next one. Alright, and we're back, so we're going to be able to do a total of 18 damage here. He's actually got 19 HP when you account for that curl up after the initial strike. So it looks like we're going to have a 3rd turn. Dunzo. So that's our 2nd hallway fight done. first hallway fight, I need to learn how to count. So after you complete your hallway fights, you get an option of choosing a card or a skip. So we have Anger here, Metallicize, and another Hemokinesis. You know, that wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing. Defense is always important, but we heal. So that kind of makes us want to take the Hemokinesis again. And having an uncommon card like this is very good, especially early on. Ability to do a lot of damage very quickly while replenishing it at the end of combat. Very, very significant. So we're going to take that other Hemokinesis. Alright, this guy's going to start out doing some damage. You know, that's pretty atypical Jar Worm here. He likes to try to hit us for quite a bit of damage. You know, but again, we have that burning blood. You know, this is great opportunity, so we'll be able to bash Hemokinesis, and then we'll draw our second Hemokinesis at the start of the next turn. So we won't have much to worry about at all as far as taking any more damage. We can take 2 more damage. Heal back up to full without any repercussions. And we're actually going to do that. So, you know, it's nice to be able to heal full while damaging yourself with cards. I guess I went through that pretty quickly. So you get gold as well occasionally from monster fights, and the occasional potion. You know, there's a number of variety of potions that we can choose from here. Fear Potion is going to apply that vulnerability similar to our bash, which is going to allow us to do that 50% extra damage. Now Armaments, Power Through, and Rupture. Now, Armaments can be decent. It'll upgrade all cards in your hand for the rest of combat at the cost of 1 energy and gain 5 blocks. So if we were happening to be taking a lot more damage than we should be, Armaments would be good, because chances are if we're taking damage we have to actually rest at the rest sites instead of upgrading. So Armaments could be potential. We have Power Through. It's going to give us 15 block, potentially 20 on an upgrade, and we shuffle 2 runes. So runes are unplayable each combat, and there are other ways to get rid of them, but hopefully we'll have that opportunity to go through that later. Rupture. When you lose HP from a card, gain 1 strength. Now with our 2 Hemokinesises, we're going to take Rupture. Hallway fight here, and we got some slime boys here. So we got a Spike Slam and we got an Acid Slime. Now I don't really recall what these slimes do. They do different things based off their strategic intents. So one of them is going to apply a defend debuff, and the other one is going to apply a attack debuff. So the goal here is to eliminate them as quickly as possible. So we're actually going to focus on this Spike Slime guy. Hit him for a big whopping 14. We're going to do some blocking and knock him out next turn. And I apologize to everybody who's trying to type. I don't know what's going on with that. It's a little frustrating. It's just swirling on that, connecting the chat engine. So again, I do apologize. So generally here would be a good opportunity to be playing Rupture. The thing is though, we're not going to have much longer of combat. So the benefit, not really benefit there. So we're going to go ahead and do some slime boy knocking out here. So we're gonna knock out our Spike Slime. We're gonna prevent this 3 damage. We want to heal as much as possible, and he'll be going bye-bye next turn. Guaranteed 6 damage next turn. Alright, so One of the things that these slimes did was they gave us a slime card, which is playable. When we play it, it will be exhausted, i.e. removed from our deck. So we're gonna get rid of that. You know, I guess I lied last turn. It is not guaranteed, but it was guaranteed 6 damage. Alright, and we're just gonna bash him to death. Everybody deserves a good bashing in life. So this way I'll be able to see who's chatting, what's going on, and actually communicate properly how I'm supposed to. Alright, so we got done with that fight. So, no, we have an opportunity to have an AoE here, which also is going to apply a vulnerable. We've got a body slam, which is gonna take our block damage and hit it on those baddies. And we have a fire breathing, which whenever we draw a status or a curse card, we're gonna deal 6 damage to all enemies. So what we got going on, I'm really not feeling any of these, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip. Now, there's nothing wrong with not taking cards. So we got a slaver here. We got a follow. Twitchy Michael 2. Thank you, Twitchy Michael 2. I greatly appreciate that. How you doing tonight, Twitchy Michael 2? You enjoying the stream? Alright, so we're gonna be weakened. That is the slaver's strategic intent there. We have a vulnerability on him, so you know there's 15, 15, and then another 6. So we're gonna be able to knock that out in pretty quick succession. So one of the things our deck is missing out right now is the capabilities of drawing. Now, drawing is very important in this game. You want to be able to cycle through your deck in a relatively quick fashion. Depending on what you're working for, in our sense, we want to do damage. We want to have our Hemokinesis and Rupture as quickly as possible. So we're going to go ahead and take that Pommel Strike. I'm going to head up to this merch shop, see what's going on with the welcome vendor of the world of Slay the Spire. You know, we have options to do card removal services, get some relics. Here's that medical kit. So here's a perfect explanation. So we had gotten, we talked about status cards and curses earlier. So a medical kit is going to allow you to play unplayable status cards. And when we do that, we're going to exhaust them from our deck. So having that, especially with the slime boss, because he's going to be putting status cards into our deck, very, very beneficial, and probably what we're going to be taking today. The other beneficial card here is vulnerable. So doesn't look like much starting out, but Trip is a 0 cost card, and when it's upgraded, you're applying 2 vulnerable to all enemies. So if you throw this out here, you got an AoE similar to Whirlwind. I know we haven't seen it yet, but we will be. Any AoE card is going to be doing 50% more damage. So having that trip, very, very beneficial. I'm not focusing on defense right now. I don't need it, so we're not going to worry about Flame Barrier. But we will be taking this medical kit. It's just a relic that I feel like we can't pass up right now. And that's all of our money. He's kind of, he's a little expensive. Sorry about the delay, Twitchy Michael. So the advantage of skipping cards, you know, there's several advantages and disadvantages to skipping cards depending on what your outcome is. So when we skip a card, we're not increasing our deck size. So if we're already starting with a low deck size, we will be able to cycle through that deck faster. So what I'm trying to do is get my Hemokinesis and Ruptures out as quickly as possible so I can cycle through it faster. I would say a disadvantage of skipping a card is potentially down the road, and you won't know this, is taking a card that would have been beneficial with another card in the future. You know, we had, in that scenario, we had an AoE, which we just finished with this, an AoE with Trip. We would have been doing 10 damage with an upgraded Trip and an upgraded AoE to all enemies. So if we had taken that, it could have made our turns much faster. It's just kind of knowing the cards and what you're looking to accomplish with them. So those are two examples for advantages and disadvantages of skipping cards. Alright, so, you know, with my deck, with my HP, I would generally go and upgrade a card now or rest. But we're going to take on... No, actually, I want to maintain on this path, so we're going to continue on this far left path. We're going to upgrade our Hemokinesises. Actually, we're going to upgrade Rupture first, because an upgraded Rupture is going to be 0 cost. Huge benefit, playing more cards, and it's a power card. So the nice thing about power cards is once we play it, it's in play, we will be removing it from our deck. So another opportunity to just cycle through that deck. We're going to be moving on to our good friends, the Sentries. So the Sentries are interesting. They have an alternating attack pattern of 3s. So our middle sentry is always going to attack first. Our left and right sentries are always going to attack second, and they will attack together. Their strategic plan in place is going to be adding status cards to our hand that will exhaust themselves after we're done with our turn. So they can be kind of difficult, but in this scenario they're not going to be too bad. But because we know we're going to get attacked twice next turn for a total 18 damage, they're all going to do the same amount. I'm going to hit this first guy here. Now he had an artifact, so that artifact negates debuff. So our bash here was able to debuff or be negated on that vulnerability. So we're not going to be doing extra damage. And it actually, it is such a weird dynamic playing this in slow mode as compared to fast mode. It's just, it gives me more time to think, and maybe that's a benefit that I'm missing out on. Alrighty, so no, I really don't want to be taking 18 damage, so we're going to use one of our potions, our explosive potion, an AoE. And then we're only going to have to take 4. And then now we can focus on any sentry that we want to. We're not going to have a concern of taking too much damage. And there's those dazed, unplayable Etherals. But we have medical kits, so we could potentially play them and just have fun with it, something to do. Make yourself feel a little special inside. But we know we're not going to kill this sentry this turn, so we're going to focus on this rear sentry, so we're not taking an additional damage next turn. Alrighty, so we have the chance of getting a Hemokinesis, or another damaging card. You know, we only have 2, or dazed. So we're going to be doing more damage to this guy, and we got the dazed. Just so you guys can see what happens after the metal kit. It exhausts out, so we'll be able to see that we've exhausted 4 dazed here during this combat. Alrighty, so you know Bash. We know Bash isn't gonna do anything because of that artifact. So we're gonna work on our Hemokinesis, knock him out, and that'll be round. So that's our second elite down, first elite down, no problem. Alright, so War Paint is a very interesting relic. What it's going to do is going to upgrade 2 random skills for us. Now, what I do a lot, and what I see a lot of people do, is they'll just click through the loot real fast. With War Paint, you don't want to do that because you don't know what cards you're getting yet. So potentially, you're missing out on an upgrade for a brand new card by just clicking through your loot real fast. In this instance, we didn't have a skill that would be getting upgraded, so it wasn't a big deal. But we have our first rare. So, and I'm going to explain rares real fast. You have a % each floor to get a rare card, and that % increases every time you go up a floor, up to 100% when you see your rare and have an opportunity. That being said, when you finish your boss fight at the end of the entire floor, you're going to get an automatic rare. And when you take that rare, it will reset your counter back to 0 when you start the next act. So that's important to know, that you're not going to see a rare initially. It will never happen. You have a 0% chance of getting a rare. Now, the premise of our deck is damage. At least that's what I want to do. So we already have one form of strength through our Hemokinesis and Rupture. Now with this demon form, we have another opportunity to get 3 strength a turn. Now it is a high cost, but the goal is we're going to get more energy eventually. So we're going to take this demon form. And we're going to do some more paints, and we get to upgrade our defense. So we have 2 defense upgrade. That'll be brilliant going forward. Now we're still good on HP. We're above 50%. We're going to start focusing on damage. So I really want to reduce Hemokinesis on the effects it's going to do to me and the damage it's going to do to the baddies. And if I keep looking over to my right, that's where my chat's at. So, you know, I don't have a Twitch or anything, even though we are on Twitch. Haha, that joke. Maybe I just think that's funny. Dreamcatcher, whenever you rest, you may add a card into your deck. So that's going to give us another opportunity to choose cards whenever we go nap-nap. The goal is not to go nap-nap. The goal is to upgrade all of our cards. Alright, so here's one of those. It's actually our first unknown room. So this is what happens. As you walk into the room, you hear a gurgling and grinding of metals. Before you is a slime-like creature that ate too much scrap for its own good. From the center of the creature, you see glints of strange light, perhaps something magical. It looks like you can get some treasure if you just reach inside its opening. However, the acid and sharp objects may hurt. So we can reach inside. The first step, we have 25% chance. We lose 3 HP. So, you know what? We're going to take a look at our floor. We have... This is a good time for it because we're not necessarily required to do this elite fight. So if we lose too much HP, we can always go with easier hallway fights and just ignore this elite, which is what we're gonna do. But I got it the first try, and we got blood vials. So at the start of each combat, I heal an additional 2 HP. So every combat, I'll be healing 8 HP now. And we're gonna go make this Big Daddy Elite a little spoon for a while. So we're gonna... Among the stone and boulders, you notice an intricate large blue statue resembling a wing. You find gold spilling from its cracks. Maybe there's more inside. So we have a ring statue. We can either choose to remove a card at the expense of 7 HP, so that's just temporary HP, or we can destroy it and gain 50 to 80 gold. Now, we're not going to run into another store. I don't care about the gold, but I do care about reducing my deck size yet again. I want to get rid of these strikes. There are much better cards that I am missing out on, other than these garbage strikes. So, Lagavulin. He sleeps for 3 turns initially, and he has Metallicize. At the end of its turn, he's going to gain 8 block. Now, because he sleeps for 3 turns, we can cycle through our deck until we get the powers that we want to play. Do no damage, he's not going to wake up. Luckily for us, we got Demon Form on first turn, so by the time he wakes up, by the time we do damage, we're going to have 6 extra strength to be doing damage. Plus we have this vulnerability potion to do 50% more. So we're going to ignore this hand, not going to use it. You know, we're going to use this opportunity to full extent. So we're up to 4. We have our Rupture, cost 0. Because of that, I'm going to go ahead and start dealing some damage to this baddie. Now next turn, I'm going to be up to 6 strength, and then I'll probably be playing Hemokinesis. There they are. And he's going to go down real fast. So we're going to be doing 22, 36 of 72 damage. Just off our Hemokinesis. Oh, no, one's upgraded. So 30, 56, and 22. So that's what, 68? Can I count? 36 plus 22 is 88. And then we're going to get additional strength off our planar Hemokinesis. We have the opportunity of getting another strike. We're not going to need it. We're just going to make a little spoon real fast. So there's 36. Up to 7, 31. And we have exact. You know, if I had gone through elementary school and learned simple math, probably would have done that faster. Oh, Twitchy Mike, you're good, man. I know it's hard. You're probably painting over there, aren't you? For those of you who don't know, Twitchy Michael's one of my good friends. He's a avid painter. He loves painting minis. You know, if you ever get the chance, look up Twitchy Mike. What is your YouTube? That video was amazing. Would you make a dice tray or something? Let's see. I don't want to just shout out his name. I'm pretty sure that's what his YouTube channel is, but if I knew how to work YouTube. Let's see who are my YouTube pals here. Mike Nicholson is actually his YouTube name, so you guys should check Mike Nicholson out. Check out that sweet dice tray he made. He actually formed all the acrylics and everything and painted himself. So, you know, and he only released one video and he still gets subscribers, which is way better than what I'm doing. So go check out Twitchy Mike. Alright, so we got uncommon and 2 commons. We have disarm, enemy loses 2 strength. Very good, very good. It's impeccable to cause additional debuffs, especially permanent strength loss to enemies and bosses. Again, I'm not really caring about blocking right now. Headbutt is a benefit. I'm going to deal damage. I'm going to take a discard card, put it on the top of my draw pile. So let's say, for instance, I wasn't able to play my Demon Form that turn. I could play my Headbutt, pull my Demon Form, my discard pile, put it on top of my draw pile, guaranteed to play next turn as long as I don't have to block. But you know, we're gonna take our debuff here. You know, it's a card that has exhaust, so us playing it isn't gonna affect our us grabbing it isn't gonna affect our deck too much. And when we play it, again, we're still at 13 cards in hand in deck size. Oh, you're welcome, Twitch your mic. Alright, so we got some Lewis here. Oh, wait, are they all separate? No, they are. Alright, so we have Lewis's. They are aggressive. They're gonna be dealing some damage to us, so we're gonna prevent that. And we're gonna... I don't want to draw here. So here's the thing we want to think about when we're playing Slay the Spire. If it's the end of your turn, and the chances of you drawing something that you can play with no energy is very slim. So we don't want to necessarily draw. So we're not going to play Pommel Strike. But we're going to play the Strike. This guy, he's going to give himself some more strength, so we want to focus on him. Alrighty, so, you know, it looks like we're getting a hurting coming towards us. It's not going to be too bad, so we can eliminate this 9. We got 18 on him and 14 on him. And we're going to be able to get out of there. So, I didn't notice that I got in Tungsten Rod. And here's why Tungsten Rod's important for this deck. Whenever I would lose HP, I'm going to lose 1 less HP. So every time I play Hemokinesis, especially upgraded, I'm only ever going to lose 1 HP. So if I have Rupture in play, I am gaining a strength at the cost of 1 HP and dealing 18 damage for the cost of 1 energy. You can't really get much better than that. I mean, just how this run is going, I know it's an Ascension 1 run, but it's just going beautifully. I wish everybody could play an Ascension run like this. I wish every single one of my Ascension runs were like this, because it can be extremely frustrating sometimes. Alrighty, so we have another power. Whenever a card is exhausted, gain 3 block. Now, we thought ahead on this. So Medical Kit plus Feel No Pain. Any status cards, curse cards, we get to play those. And they get exhausted. And we gain block. And we're not really increasing our deck size, because as soon as we play it, our deck goes back to 13. It's just gonna be a wonderful one. I'm so glad you all are joining me on this. I hope you're enjoying it as well, and we're all learning together. Alright, so as you Living Wall, as you come to a dead end and begin to turn around, walls slam down from the ceiling, trapping you. 3 faces materialize from the walls and speak, "Forget what you know, and I'll let you go. I require a change to see a new space. If you want to pass me, then you must grow." So we can forget, we can change, or we can grow. We're essentially picking what wall we want to go to. That's quite interesting. We're going to go through, you know, I keep mentioning this, deck size, deck size, deck size, deck size. I want to get rid of my strikes. I can upgrade a card, or I can transform one of my strikes and essentially remove it. You know, if I transform it, I have a chance of getting a completely random card. I could upgrade my Hemokinesis, my second one, with Tungsten Rod and Rupture, and we have boss fight coming up. I think that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be upgrading that Hemokinesis. There it is. Satisfied, the walls in front of you merge back into the ceiling, leaving a path forward. Alright, so we're still doing good on HP. We're at our first slime boss. We don't need to rest. We're just gonna smith. You know, with what's going on, he's got 150 HP. I want to knock him out as quickly as possible. So we're gonna upgrade our demon form. You know, it's gonna give us 3 strength instead of 2. Hopefully we get out and play rather quickly. you know, luck of the cards, right? And there it is. That's why we have faith in the cards. My grandpa made this deck. So we're gonna knock out that demon form real fast. And oh, 140 HP, not 150. That must be later on. So there's our goop. It just gave us some slimes. We get to play Rupture, so we're gonna play our Rupture. We're gonna gain strength every time we lose HP. Now, Slime Boss, he is gonna split at some point. So he's gonna split when he reaches less than 50% of his HP. He's gonna split into two smaller slimes with that HP. Now, it's not a total. I wish it was. I wish if he had 60 HP, his little slime boys would break down into 30 and 30 HP. No, they both break down into 60 and 60 HP. And then they break out into two little guys. So if you don't do it right, you can get overwhelmed and have a lot of damage to you. So we're gonna play this a little differently. We're gonna bash him. You know, our intent is to get him down quickly. Now he's preparing to do a lot of damage. Crush, he's going to be dealing that 35 damage this turn. We're going to take it. You know, there's really not much we can do. We're going to take it. And I'll tell you why. It's never going to happen again. And we're going to go back to full HP because this is in Ascension 1 run. We're going to go back up to full HP as soon as we're done making Slime Boss Little Spoon. So we're going to draw first. We're going to draw first. I'm going to cycle that deck. It's a defend, thankfully. I can take him down. I'm not... Well, maybe I should. 18... 36? I guess we don't have a need to take it then. You know, that's going to take him down to 40 HP. So the split's going to be 40. And we have another Hemokinesis. And we're going to be able to split those guys pretty easily. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and split them. I'm going to save my Flex Potion. Eval 33, what's going on, brother? Thanks for joining us on this Slay the Spire run with Uncle Sam. Alrighty, so Slime Boy split up. We got this Acid Slime doing 16 damage. Instead, we're gonna take 1 damage and we're gonna pretty much kill him. No, we are going to kill him. And we're gonna play some of our slimes, get those out of our deck, and check out that med kit, getting some work done. A good way to spend 145 gold, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we want to just kill him. And that's Slime Boss, ladies and gentlemen. What was that? 3 turns on Slime Boss. Thank you, Demon Form, starting out. Rupture, Hemokinesis. Ended the fight with 14 strength. Not bad, not bad. Alrighty, so there's our second rare of the night, ladies and gentlemen. We have Double Tap, Offering, and Reaper. With how our deck's going, we have damaging cards. You know, if we were still maintaining our growth of 6 HP, 8 HP every turn, it wouldn't be a big deal, but we're not. So Reaper's very potential here. Offering's another good one. We do lose 6 HP, but we gain 2 more energy and draw 3 cards. On an upgrade, we're going to draw 5 cards. Double Tap. Not really the... I mean, it's a beneficial card for this deck, but I'm probably not going to get it. You know, I just don't see the point of spending additional energy for the next card to be played twice. Playing this a little closer to heart today. So we're going to take Reaper just for that additional health. So in the event we ever get to we ever get dropped down to 50% with our demon form, we're going to be able to heal back up. Strength does affect Reaper, so it's going to do more damage, giving us more HP back. Yeah, with this deck, I mean, again, we just got so lucky on this deck. Twitchy Mike, I wish everybody could experience this. I'm glad you're here for it. But just having that demon form starting out, getting that 9 extra strength into damage, it just makes the run so much easier to, you know, we take an HP of damage, deal 18, and we get extra strength. It's just, it's a stupid deck, man. It's already stupid. We have 16 cards in our hand, and look how stupid it is. We killed Slime Boss in 3 turns. Alright, additionally, we get a relic. Now, we have the choices of energy at the expense of no longer smithing. That means we can no longer upgrade our deck. Not really what I'm looking for. Potential's there. It would be nice to do more damage every turn with more energy. Runic Pyramid lets us set up for longer extensive fights though. So at the end of your turn, you no longer discard your hand. And then we have Runic Dome. We gain an energy at the start of your turn. You can no longer see enemy intents. For a new player, I would not recommend Runic Dome until you've been able to play the game and go through all 3 acts relatively well, and you understand how each enemy functions. So for the purpose of this video and stream, we are not going to take Runic Dome. I want everybody to understand how enemies work, and I can't explain that with Runic Dome. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to take Runic Pyramid, its brother, and we're going to hold our hands now. So we get this thing Kumbaya with our deck, and just keep going forward. Alright, beginning the act, I am actually going to take a couple minutes. I need to get some drinks in me, and getting a little cotton mouth here. So, thank you all for joining me right now, and I will be back in just a few moments. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Thank you for waiting. We're going to move on to our second act of Slay the Spire as soon as I can get my chat back up. So Mike's peeing. Good for you, Mike. Thanks for the share. Cottonmouth, I assure you, it's not what you think. Alright, going forward with Act 2, we're going to be fighting the Champ. The Champ is going to be a fun fight. I'm excited for that, especially with this deck. You know, he's got close to 500 HP. I really want to see how quickly we're going to disembowel him. So we got some elites, we got some bonfires, we got some stores. Let's see what route we want to go. Alright, so elite, bonfire, store. 2 elites in a store. And then bonfire afterwards and just go store crazy. We're probably not going to need that many stores. But I would like some more elite fights. I think we just gonna go this way. Let's see what happens. Alright, so we have the Spheric Guardian. Not a big fan of Spheric Guardian. Generally for a lot of my decks they're a lot slower, they're not as strong as this. He is going to almost block every turn. And he blocks for a substantial amount. And his barricade does not prevent his block from going away at the start of his turn. And on top of that, he does a decent amount of damage. So we have Rupture. We're going to play that first so we can start building our strength. We got that Hemokinesis for that 1 HP, 1 strength, and 18 damage. And our strike is now going to deal increased damage. Thank you, Rupture. You know, one of the few times I've taken a Rupture and it's going great. Alright. So, he blocked back up to 40. Like I said, he's a pain in the ass. And he is going to be taking a Pommel Strike first. Now, we want to draw as quickly as possible. We don't want to play Bash. He's got artifacts. So there's no point in that. There's not really a point in us playing Feel No Pain at the moment. Maybe there is. And I'm just being ignorant. There's not a point right now. So we're going to deal another 7 damage. We're going to take 2 damage total. Not too bad. We'll be able to heal up after this fight. 1 damage total. Tungsten Rod does amazing work. And we got that Runic Pyramid holding hands for us. So, he's going to deal 20. We're going to block some of that. Now, notice Hemokinesis that turn took damage from our HP, not from our armor. It's a card that's so... and almost all cards are like this in Slay the Spire. If it says it's going to do something, it's going to do it. It's taking it from your HP, not from you. Some cards will take it from your armor. Hemokinesis is not one of those cards. It will always take it from your main health pool. So we're going to take 11 damage. Oh, DM, so I know who that is. Nice of you to join us. Thank you, Eval. Much appreciated to have you here. You know, 24 damage away. We're going to be able to knock him out. No problem. Fortunately, we don't get to get back to full HP. But that's alright. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is a good deck. I'm very excited. So, Searing Blow is one of those cards that can be upgraded infinitely. Now, if we had taken Armament earlier, Searing Blow would be an excellent choice. but we don't have a way to just constantly upgrade our cards in our hand. Blood for Blood is ideal for this deck. It works. It's meant to work with Hemokinesis. It's dealing Hemokinesis, dealing damage to ourselves. Blood for Blood. Every time we lose HP, this costs 1 less energy. So by the time we're potentially in turn 2, this card will cost 0. So we have 0 cost card for 18 damage plus for however much strength we have. Alternatively, we could take an upgraded dual wield. It's going to put on the 2 copies of an attack or power card into our hand. Now, let me explain this. It gives us more opportunity to value off our Rupture with Hemokinesis, or it gives us 2 more Reapers to play, which means more HP at the end. Or we could go infinite actually with Reaper, it's pretty amazing. Or we could take Feel No Pain and just get a massive increase to our block. So we're going to be taking dual wield. Does increase our deck size. I know I've been harping on that, but it's going to be an important later card. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it, Twitchy Mike. You know, it gives a different feel when I'm not talking to myself, but maybe it's just my everyday life of being the quiet guy in the group that I just love to talk, and you guys are so freaking loud that I can never talk. So you take it for what it is, but thank you, Mike. I really do appreciate that. Alright, so we have an opportunity to get rid of one of these god-awful strikes. So we have our old beggar. An old beggar cloaked in fur reaches his hands out towards you as you pass. Spare some coin, child. Yeah, we're gonna give him some coin. Let's get rid of this strike. Alright, so we have the Chosen. Chosen's pretty... he's your typical monster fight, hallway fight. He doesn't do anything out of the ordinary. He's got a status effect that'll apply to us that every time we play a skill card, we'll put a status card into our deck. But with how our deck is currently going, it's not a disadvantage to have that. It's really a benefit for us. So we're gonna go ahead and give him 2 less strength. We're gonna block for that, and we're gonna give ourselves 1 damage. There's our Rupture. I wish we had that last turn. So dual wield, we get to experience dual wield. I'm not gonna use it yet. I just want you guys to see the potential of dual wield. Especially with drawing another Hemokinesis or Feel No Pain. It's gonna be fun. Alright, so we played dual wield. We get to play 2 Hemokinesises. Do 27 each. So we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna duplicate our Hemokinesis. We got 3 because 2 plus 1 is 3. Simple math. 27, we're gonna be able to do 28. We're gonna take 8, not a big deal. Guess we could have killed him with our flex potions. I'm really bad at using these. You ever notice in RPGs when you just have potions and you're like, no, I need to save that? That's how I am with Slay the Spire. I never use my potions, and by the time I reach the end, I'm like, oh yeah, I got those. Alright, and that is that. Speaking of that, now I don't have any room for potions. There's that armament, and it's upgraded. That would have been great for Searing Blow. We have Draw and Exhaust. So Burning Pact is going to reduce our deck size and draw for us. We only have one AoE though. Having an AoE on standby with Runic Pyramid is very valuable. There are some fights where this is a must. So it's going to be one of those toss-ups. You know, we have quite a bit of attacks, but we're not overwhelmed with them. So we're going to take that whirlwind. Alright, and we're going to take this left path here, check out some unknown rooms. We have our first random encounter in an unknown. You encounter a group of bandits wearing large red masks. Hello, pay up to pass. A reasonable fee of all your gold will do. Heh heh. We could choose to lose all of our gold, which is not going to happen, or we can fight them. Yeah, it's just weird. We got Pointy, Romeo, and Bear. So someone must have been an English fan in the development team, because this is oddly specific to Romeo and Juliet. So let's go ahead and do some demon form. So I'm just gonna show you guys how disgusting this potentially could be. And my goal is gonna be to pretty much kill them with only Reaper, and it's just gonna be not a fun day for them. It's gonna be quite bad. So what are we taking? 10, 20, 29 damage? It's not a big deal. We're gonna get rid of some of our cards so we can draw some more. Yeah, Eval, it would be nice. You want to go round up some people and see where the heck they are and why they're not on my channel? Alright, so 18, 15, so what is that, 32, 42. Alright, so this is where we're going to start dealing some damage, just so we don't die. Yeah, just to maintain. Just so you guys can see how stupid this deck is. I keep forgetting about Tungsten Rod and how it affects them. Alright, so my hand's full. It's kind of a downside. But you know what? I get to do a bunch of damage again. So I'm going to do 27 damage all the way across and heal for 27. And I get exhaust, so I get 3 block automatically. Kind of nice. You know, so next turn, that's going to go up to 12 damage. And we're probably going to finish off with Whirlwind. And we're going to be pretty much back up to full HP. We're actually going to use one of our potions. So we're going to use our Flex Potion. We're going to be dealing 15 all the way across. So that's 2 down. And we're going to finish off with our Whirlwind. The only downside is his block's going to prevent that. So it's not going to prevent that though, fortunately for them. So, you know, sometimes it's good to slow down and just watch your plays, and the other benefit is, again, knowing who your enemies are. Red Mass, so at the start of each combat we're going to give a weak to all enemies. Alright, so we've been ignoring defense for a while. So we're going to go ahead and take Flame Barrier. It's going to allow us to deal Thorn damage to our opponents and block on top of that. Freaking losers. Granted, they are watching Alita Battle Angel, which, if you haven't watched it, I'll have to lend it to you. It's really good. Alright, so we're going to get 24 gold. Here's one of our energies we've been desperately needing, so start each combat with an additional energy. We're going to get on to our next elite fight. And we have the dreaded Book of Stabbing. So, quite a pain in the butt monster to be fighting. So, he likes to do repetitive damage. Every time he strikes our HP directly, he's going to put a wound into our discard pile. Again, we're in a situation where that's not a disadvantage, it is an advantage. So it's actually in our best interest to get hit. And then he was weakened, so he deals 25% less damage because of our red mass. So, you know what? For funds, we're going to dual wield our Feel No Pain. We're going to take this 8 damage. And we're going to be blocking for 3 damage, or doing 3 blocks every time we exhaust. So 9 block total. We're going to play a Rupture too, just minimize our deck again. So we're going to take this 8. And we're not going to take much damage more after this, I'm sorry. Tungsten Rod, we're going to take 6 damage. We're going to defend out of here, we're going to disarm. We're just going to have fun with this fight. Alright, so we get to do some demon form. Again, I don't mind taking damage here. Do I need to play demon form? It'll be beneficial later. Especially for healing purposes. It's going to be really important. Because chances are we're going to take a lot of damage during this fight. Got another wound. So we can play some defense. Play a draw. Let's see what's going on. We're just not drawing our runes, so that's not really a big deal. We're gonna do some damage back this turn. We're gonna keep on increasing our strength. We want to get that high so we can get a high volume back from our Reaper. I guess I could play Whirlwind just to get it out of my hand. Not really gonna be using it much. I want to draw some wounds, but there it is. There's some 9 block. I just want this crap out of my hand. Just get rid of that. Alright. So, guaranteed 18 blocking, thanks to dual wield. We're going to dual wield our Reapers again, just so we can guarantee we come out of this fight with full HP or as close to it. You know, and that's where we're going to start. I really don't want to take any more damage right now. Now, I know I sped the gun up on that. It's important to always watch what you're drawing at the end of turn. In this case it worked out good because we got 2 runes. So 18 automatic, 23, it's going to deal 28. We're going to take 21 of our HP back, so everything he just did to us, we negated. And we got additional 9 block for exhausting our card. So that is the Book of Stabbing. And we get to go back up to full HP. Nunchaku. Every time we play 10 attacks, gain an energy, that'll be beneficial. We finally played one of our potion slots, so Blessing of the Forge. Upgrade all cards in your hand for the rest of combat. Alright, so we have Blood for Blood, which has been smearing its ugly face in ours for the past few floors. You know, in Runic Pyramid, it's a good time to take it. We're never going to take Clash. We have too many skills in our deck. Not having skills in your deck is not the most ideal or sound. You have to get really lucky to be able to take skills out of your deck. Body Slam, I don't really care about it. It's not doing anything for us. It's not going to do anything for us in this run. We're going to take Blood for Blood. Now, our deck size is getting kind of big. Ideally, we want to keep our deck size between 22 and 26 cards, depending on how much you can draw. Now, we can only hold 12 cards in our hand, so we have to be playing a decent amount of cards every turn. Unfortunately, we only have 3 energy to work with, so hopefully we get an opportunity to get some more energy out of the store. Well, that didn't happen. We can get Strength, Enlightenment, reduce the cost of all cards in your hand to 1 this turn. You know, we have a Demon Form, a Reaper, Flame Barriers. These are never going to go down in value. You know, whether they make up like almost 10% of our deck. So having a card that's going to reduce all my hand size to 1 and being able to keep that and play that whenever I want to, and when it's upgraded to all combat, that's a benefit. I still have some strikes in here, so we're going to get rid of a strike. We're going to take Enlightenment, and we're going to move on. Oh, wait. Clothesline would be beneficial just to take less damage. We don't really have another way of taking less damage. We just like to heal damage back. It's not upgraded. I don't really think it's worth me spending the gold on right now. Alright, so we're gonna go fight the Gremlin Leader, and we're gonna make him a little spoon as well. Now the Gremlin Leader is interesting. So what he's gonna do is he's got these Gremlin Wizards and Fat Gremlins rolling alongside of him. If we eliminate our little Gremlin Leader's friends, he will continue to respawn them. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So we have the capability of doing 32 damage this turn. We're going to do it just so we have a free turn next turn. Alright, so we're going to bash him up. Do some Hemokinesis. Unfortunately, we don't have Rupture in play right now, but that's okay. He's rallying. He's calling more of his little buddies. Again, the name of the game is to kill his buddies. We still don't have a Rupture. We have 6 cards to draw. No Rupture. So let's see if we get it. That's not a Rupture, unfortunately. So I'm going to go ahead and kill him. I'd like to draw some cards, so we're going to play Feel No Pain. Gremlin Leader's now going to buff his buddies and give them armor, strength and armor, and himself. He's probably going to attack next turn, which he did, because he likes to do that. So that's quite a bit. So we're going to go ahead and block 12 of that, I believe. Let's take it down a bit. So 30 damage, 11, and block most of that out. Alright, so here's where that Enlightenment comes into play. So we get to play our cards for 1. I guess I could have done dual wield, but it's not really advantageous of us. Because we need to kill this guy. And he gets to waste a turn charging. Chances of him attacking after that, very, very slim. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pretty much finish him off. So we're going to Hemokinesis it. Now that this is at 0, we can dual wield our Blood for Blood. And we now have 322 damaging cards for 0. And that's how you play Slay the Spire. You walk all over everything. Perfected Strike, Warcry, and Intimidate. We're already applying a week. Having another week is not a bad thing. We don't have draw, so we don't really need it. So we're gonna go ahead and skip. Now, I want to fight another elite. I mean, I'm doing very well in HP. We get a white beast statue, so every time we finish combat we get another potion for all the mini potions I never use. Alrighty, so we don't have a need to play Enlightenment here. All of our cards already cost 1. So we're going to go ahead and Feel No Pain. And I don't like this last guy, so I'm actually going to use a Fear Potion on him. So this Slaver has the potential of, if you leave him be, he's going to be casting what's called Entangled. And Entangled prevents us from playing any attack cards, and only playing skill cards. So if he's left around for a while, that could be detrimental. The Taskmaster, every time he attacks, he does a strategic plan. He's going to put a wound into our deck. Again, for what we have going on, the wound is not a disadvantage. And this Slaver is just one who does damage. He doesn't really do anything. He might apply a weak every now and then, but that might be it. So I don't like this guy, so he's going to die. That's a good question. I don't know if I can see who else is here. My chat's, I got 4 viewers going on. Woohoo, guys, 4 viewers. Unfortunately, I can't see who all 4 of those are. I mean, I guess I could go through Twitch, and just see everybody that's on my my list, but I'm not gonna do that right now. But thank you to the 4 who are joining us, much appreciated. Hope you're enjoying Uncle Sam's playthrough on the what am I playing again? Ironclad. Alright, so back to it. We have an opportunity here to really mess these guys up with just Flame Barrier, essentially. Or we can heal. I think I'm going to be taking a Reaper here. And we're not going to play it right now. We're going to defend some of this, and we're just going to deal our 8 damage. The reason why we don't want to play our Enlightenment right now is it's only good for the turn, it's not upgraded. So we're going to see what else is going on. We have the options of now playing our Rupture, which is going to be beneficial. Reducing damage taken, again, benefit. And we're going to be dealing some vulnerabilities. So it's not, the time is not ripe for us to play Enlightenment yet. Alrighty, so again, we're going to be holding off. I want to get this 88 HP back. So we're going to be playing Strength. I guess I could have played Enlightenment there, but whatever. It's impartial really to me, because I know I'm going to get that HP back. So again, all this guy does is damage. Nothing too fancy. The Taskmaster giving us those wounds is not a disadvantage. We're going to be able to play them regardless and get some defenses out of it. See what's going on. But we're gonna start our trek of healing, at least, and dealing damage. You know what? Just in case anything happens, we're gonna keep building our Reaper setup. So that's a good sign. We have enough Reapers now, where we don't have hardly anything to worry about. If ever. And never, never. This is Gil. Gil Bates, right? Gil Bates? Is that who we're talking about? Alrighty, so we're gonna be able to finish next turn. Actually, we can finish this turn. This is good. Finish this turn. So we're gonna heal to max, you know, and for the fun of it, overheal. Not that it does anything, unfortunately. Again, more strength. I mean, this deck is coming along fantastic. So we have the opportunity to draw more. We don't really need it. I would say if anything, block, but getting blocked from Iron Wave is not going to happen. The unfortunate side of this card, we'll deal a bunch more damage with our strength increases, but it'll never affect our block, unfortunately. And we have another AoE. We don't really need another AoE. We have Roar and we have Reapers. So that's just increasing our deck size for no reason. I guess we'll take another Blessing and a Forge just to have potions if we ever need it. And we have the opportunity to increase. And we're going to do that Enlightenment. You know, it's just nice to be able to play it once and then pretty much ignore it. I don't feel like I have enough gold justified to go to the bank, to the store, outside of this unknown room. But I don't know what this unknown room would give. So we're gonna go check out the merchant. Again, if I had, I'm never gonna get this now. Membership card, which reduces all products by 50%. Just slightly under it. Having another Feel No Pain wouldn't be a bad thing, as long as we continue to get status cards. Battle Trance, again, we're not in a position that we really need it, so we're pretty much just coming here to remove our last strike, just to get the nasty thing out of our deck. And we're gonna go ahead and submit some more cards. So it's a good time. Probably not Feel No Pain. Additional damage reduction is good. More damage from this card. I like the idea of having more vulnerability. I don't know why I always wait last to upgrade these bash cards, but it's just a bad habit of mine. Find any sweet technology, Gil? Just curious. I mean, I know you're interested in that alien Finasco. What you think are aliens? Alright, so this snake plant, he's got a malleable, which every time he gets damaged, he's gonna block for 3. So the more you attack him in a turn, the more he's gonna block for. So as long as you have high cost, or not high cost, high damaging cards, it's not gonna be a big deal. So we're just gonna go on that. Pendant procced at the same time our Nunchaku blocked. So it was the 10th card we played, so we got an extra energy. So we're going back up to 4. Now our next attack is going to deal double damage. So we're going to be able to do 38 damage, so 35 damage total, which is brilliant. Because I hate fighting this thing. At higher ascensions, he is just a huge pain in the butt. And he's actually one of those monsters I struggle with the most. He's extremely powerful for an Act 2 fight. I'm not a fan of him. That being said, we're gonna go ahead and continue on with bashing him in. So the malleable, if I am correct, is gonna proc after Whirlwind's done. It won't proc during the effect of a card, if it's a continuous card. So 18, I could potentially do 18, take 21, or I could. There's not much. I'm gonna go ahead and do Hemokinesis with a draw. There's our Enlightenment, and we're gonna be able to block at least some of this. Now, that being said, this worked out really well for us. Since we played our Flame Barrier, his block's gonna go away as soon as he starts attacking. We're gonna do Thorns for 4, so we're not gonna take any damage. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Ancient Potion, I'd rather have Ancient Potion. It gives me an artifact that's gonna negate debuffs. If it's a debuff, I just can't handle. Our deck's pretty secure right now. I don't really feel like we need to add anything. I mean, we have Raise to gain strength with Rupture, Demon Form, and then just dealing self-abuse damage. Daddy left when we were early. And then, so we're gonna go ahead and skip. It's real, bro. Aliens are real. Dude, if I could make a withdrawal from the bank, I probably wouldn't be here streaming right now. The aliens are inside us. Okay, Cartman over there who's been touched by aliens, anal probed. Only, who's it? Stan's the only one who can get it out of his ass. Let's see, what do we want to do here? We're upgrading cards. We're gonna go ahead and upgrade our Flame Barrier so we can do some more block damage and give some more Thorns damage back. Alright, now we're finally on to the champ. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna apply vulnerable to us this first strategic action. He's only gonna do 9 because he's weakened. But we have the opportunity to go ahead and start gaining strength now. I really want to see what this draw is early, but I want to make sure I have more strength. So we're going to see what this draw is now. And we're going to go ahead and block for the rest of the turn. Gil, who's this sweet paladin you know of? Alright, so good turn, good turn. We're gonna dual wield our Blood for Bloods. And the reason why we're doing this is because we're gonna eventually get it down. Oh, you know what? I messed that up. I should have played Enlightenment to reduce it to 1 and then played Hemokinesis. That would have been the big boy brain talking. Unfortunately, my big boy brain was not working. Unfortunate side effect. I failed you all. I'm sorry. I do. Gandalf means me. Means or needs. And there I am with the big boy brain again. Enlightenment. Play Enlightenment. It's not gonna hurt you. Alrighty. And, you know, it's one of those things I kind of just want to wait, but I know it's not beneficial to do so. You know what? I want counters on here. Display damage, blue. Alrighty. So we've already got the champ down to almost half HP. Now, when we get close to him being at half HP, there's going to be an instance where he removes all debuffs from himself. So that would be not the best thing in the world. So here, we're going to finally play Enlightenment. I want to get rid of some of these cards in my hand, just so I can have more Blood for Bloods. So we're going to play our Reaper here for 1929 because we had Penniv up. We're going to dual wield our Blood for Bloods again, so we can add 2 more to our hand, which is going to allow us to do 120 damage. Honestly, how do you feel about your new Bard friend? Fail. Come on, guys. That's not nice. Just tell the Bard no, and he won't be getting in trouble. I mean... Isn't that what TikTok says? Just tell the Bard no. Bard never gets in trouble. Dude, I got 5 viewers going on now. Well, hello the 3 others that aren't talking, but thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Uncle Sam, and we are leading a run on the Ironclad. The Bard totally listens, dude. He has listened to everything God has told him, and God has never led him astray. If you want to blame somebody, blame God. I mean that in the figurative sense of D&D. If there's any religious people out there, that is not meant to be taken into context. I just laid it out on there. Alright, so the champ, he's gonna die this turn. And he's gonna not die to that. Maybe I'm lying. Can he die this turn? No, he can't. Yeah, he can. He can die this turn. See, that's how you kill him. It's math, ladies and gentlemen. When you damage yourself, you get stronger. Alright, so we got a regen potion. There's not a point in us taking regen potion because we have dual wield and we have Reaper and we have Enlightenment. So we could literally play 3 Reapers in a turn for 3. I really hope I get some energy. Alright, so we have some good rares here. Double tap looks a little better now that our deck has really come into its own. But we're probably not going to take it. Impervious is good for those situations. Impervious is good for those situations where you're going to take a lot of damage, and depending on what happens next act, would be beneficial to take Impervious. Or there's Corruption, in which skills cost 0. Whenever you play a skill, you exhaust it. Upgraded, it just costs 2. We get to reduce our deck. We get to reduce our deck while gaining block because of Feel No Pain, and just moving through the fights faster. So we're going to take Corruption here. I really like having a small deck. I know not everybody can say that they enjoy a small deck, but me personally, I enjoy having a small deck. Well, you are one of the viewers, Uncle Sam, but we do have 2 silent but deadlies. Oh, I guess I would be a viewer. Wait, I never thought about that. So, do other Twitch streamers do that when their OBS isn't working, or they're just too incompetent to figure out their OBS? They just put Twitch on themselves and watch themselves and get affiliated? Is that how that works? Alright, so we get some more energy. Again, I'm not big on potion using. I forget I have potions. And Soju's gonna give us another energy at the expense of not getting any more potions. Coffee drippers can prevent us from resting. I haven't really rested. I think I've never rested this run. But Act 3 is quite a bit different. Or Black Blood, which it used to be 10 HP, I believe, and then they upgraded it on this last patch, so we get 12 HP now. I'm gonna take Soju, just because I don't care about potions. And right, Beast Statue honestly makes me mad because it constantly makes me use potions. I like my potions. I like having a full potion belt to use for nothing. Alright, so let's see who we're fighting. We are fighting the Awakened One, the false god of the birdies. He is a false god. He is a figment of, you know, we've been playing Call of Cthulhu, and Eval over here is our, what did they call it? You're not dungeon masters, you're, handlers? Is that what it is? You're a handler? You know, you can think of the Awakened One as a being who came into power by a cult believing in him. There's a lot of these theories about Slay the Spire and the Awakened One, which it's only the birdies that believe in him, and it just so happens that he has two birdie cultists that you have to kill during that fight, where they just completely go insane and beat you over the head for like 500 damage. We didn't even fight the birdies in Act 2, that's strange. Anyway, I'm off topic here. So we are going to spend some cash at one of these shops, considering they're all in line with each other. And we're gonna fight some elites, and we're gonna do some upgrading. So it looks like we're only gonna fight one elite, which is kind of sad. But it is Ascension 1, so, you know, the purpose of the video is to be educational, so we're gonna keep doing that. Alright, so we're gonna take this third path up. So we got some Darklings. They have what's called lifelinks, so whenever they are quote-unquote killed, they'll come back, they'll revive themselves in a couple turns for 50% of their HP. And that's how that fight goes. It's not that much fun. We're gonna do some Feel No Pains, and we're gonna play some Hemokinesis. Just to... oh, let's do more. Oh, and we got Pit Nip set up, that's brilliant. GM, okay. Alright, so these are great guys for if you want to heal. You can just do so, because they don't really do much. No, you just let them hang around. You kill them, they come back. You kill them again. You get to heal and heal and heal if you have a deck set up like we do. Alright, so there's that corruption. We're going to use Big Boy Brain now. We're going to do that Enlightenment just so we can play our corruption for one. We're going to go ahead and disarm one of these guys who's looking at doing a lot of damage. We're going to play our Rupture just to get it out of our deck. We want to draw. Now, I really don't want to take all this damage, so we're going to kill him. We're going to try to kill him, which we are close. But it's not going to happen. So we're going to get rid of these out of our decks. Make our decks smaller. We like small decks. We're going to take that dual wield, get that Reaper going, have some good old fun, warm ourselves back up to full HP. And that is Darklings, ladies and gentlemen. Soju likes to eat. You know, that's why I like Soju so much. I can just click on my potions and they just go away. It's like they were never there. Alright, so with Corruption, having another Feel No Pain is actually really good. Because we're going to be able to block even more incoming damage. Alright, falling. As you head upwards, hopping from one floating shape to another, you slip. You begin to fall. While in free fall, you consider your options. You land safely with your greatest techniques, channel a power to survive the fall, or strike at the wall to hang on to it. We can either lose defend plus to land, channel, which would lose our feel no pain, or we could lose our draw. I don't like getting rid of defense. And we already have a way to getting rid of defense, so just reducing that anymore if it's not beneficial. We don't need a draw, and with our deck setup, Pommel Strike's really not doing much for us. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. Alright, so we have 3 different enemies here. We have our Repulsor, our Exploder, and our Spiker. So our Repulsor, he's going to be filling our deck with status cards that are normally unplayable, but again, we have our handy dandy medical kit to get rid of those. Exploder, he's going to explode in 3 turns. He's kind of like a Geodude. He does self-destruct. He doesn't like to stick around for long. He's going to be doing that at the end of his 3rd turn. And then we have Spiker, who's everybody's favorite porcupine. He's going to be increasing his thorns damage on a regular basis, so every time we attack him, we take damage. So for now, we're just going to go ahead and defend this incoming damage. We're going to save dual wield for when we can play blood for blood for 0. Alright, Twitchy Mike, thanks for hanging out. Much appreciated. Hope you have a good night. Take it easy. See you tomorrow. We're going to be knocking out this Rupture here. Getting ready for those sweet, sweet strength increases. Then we're going to want to Corrupt, Feel No Pain, and just wait. It's okay because we're going to heal anyway. You're probably wondering why I'm not dual wielding my blood for blood yet. I want to reduce my blood for blood to at least 1, which I can now do. Reduce to 1. Now I can play one of my Hemokinesises, bring it down to 0. Dual wield, do my blood for blood for 0. I have 3 blood for bloods to play now at no cost. I'm back up to 4 HP. Spiker's only dealing 5. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to pretty much kill him. So we're not gonna block for all of it, but we'll heal some of that back. Power potion. Unfortunately, that's not gonna work. Soju is gonna prevent me from doing that. Having flex isn't a benefit anymore. I'm building strength pretty quickly. Perfect strike. I have nothing in my deck that has the name strike in it. So there's no benefit there. It's a 2 cost that deals 6 damage now. And originally it's not even that good anyway. And I already have a way to exhaust all my skills. So there's no need to take any more cards. Alright, Reel of Change. You come upon a dapper looking cherry gremlin. It's time to spin the wheel. Are you ready? Of course you are. We're gonna go ahead and play this little game. And we're gonna take some damage. I think that's a permanent HP loss. Oh, no, just temporary. So we're gonna lose 6. You slash at the crazy gremlin, but he's simply too quick. He gets you a few times with a crude shiv. The price has been paid. And with that, both the gremlin and its wheel disappear in a puff of smoke. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and check out this wonderful store. Alright, so we have Red Skull. not a benefit there. We're rarely ever below 50% HP. Hand drill, whenever you break an enemy's block, apply 2 vulnerability. There's not going to be that many enemies that even give us the opportunity to have block. We have another rupture. I would really like to be able to get more strength, so we're going to take that. I don't have a really need to remove cards anymore. The only things else to remove are maybe whirlwinds. We don't really have a need for whirlwinds anymore. That's pretty much it. Everything else is a benefit to have. Defense potentially, but we can get rid of those on our own. Alright, so we get to start our fight with getting a rupture. We have dual wield. So the thing is if rupture was upgraded, it would be great. But that's not the case. So we're gonna go ahead and corrupt, and we're gonna end. Now, what Spire Growth does is his strategic is to wrap us. So he's going to put a bind on us, and at the start of every turn, he's going to deal about 10 damage to us at the beginning. Now, thankfully, we have ways to heal, so it's not a huge disappointment. And since I already played Corruption, probably going to save my dual wield for Reaper, just so that we can get all of our HP back. So we're going to go ahead and feel no pain first, so we can make sure that we're blocking properly. I'm going to go ahead. We want to get up to 32. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to dual wield. We're good to dual wield Rupture now. I know it's not like the best ideal situation, but having 3 Ruptures in play this early on will be a benefit. And we're going to save this last defend for next turn. So we're going to take 2. We have our Enlightenment, which is what we need. So there's our Demon form. We're going to do our Hemokinesis. Do that a couple times. Hit the blood for blood, and we're going to wait a couple turns for our Reaper just in case. We probably should have bashed first, but it's not a huge deal. We're going to play our next Rupture. We're going to disarm him. We're not taking as much. Play another Feel No Pain. Again, order. Order is important. If I'd done that originally, I would have 6 block instead of 3. So we're going to play our last of our blocks. This is all we need to block for. And we're going to go ahead and see if I did that. We'll die. I want to heal first. Healing for 21 isn't beneficial here, so what's that put us at? 70, 62, 63? I'd rather be closer, so I'm going to wait another turn to do that. Alrighty, so we're going to gain some more strength. Too much strength, too much strength. Alright, so we're going to be up to 78 now. So a good way to end an elite fight. Fortune Blessing Forge is going to go eat by Soju. Power through. Okay, so it's one of those opportunities where we have a way of going infinite on block with power through. We're not going to take it. If we're at a higher ascension, we would. But for now, we don't really have a need to. Playing Intimidate, we're going to take this Intimidate though because it is upgraded. Having 2 weak to all enemies for 2 turns is going to be beneficial. Going to go ahead and Smith. We have no need to heal. We have enough healing here. We're going to go ahead and get that Rupture down to 0 as well. I don't like painful cards, especially Rupture. So we got a four-way going on here. Gonna go ahead and knock out our corruption. I'm just gonna block this turn. I don't have a need to really do anything else. Hey Eval, catch you later. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for the kudos and encouragement. Alrighty, so we have that great opportunity here now to just do insane amounts of damage. If we do Whirlwind, we're going to take 20 damage just from playing Whirlwind, but we will be eliminating our entire base here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and play some weak, so I'm not taking as much. We're going to block. And we are going to hold off, actually. Yeah, we're going to hold off another turn. I want to get some more ability to choose my actions rather than guess at them. We have that privilege since we have Runic Pyramid. Alright, and there's that privilege coming in full force. So we're going to play our Rupture. We're going to play our Enlightenment. And then we're going to dual wield our Blood for Bloods. So we need to get rid of this Exploder before he explodes all over our face. We're going to go ahead and put this Exhaust and Spiker because he's going to last the longest. So we're only dealing 19, so let's go ahead and make sure that he dies. Pendant messed this up. That's not fun. We're going to go ahead and do one of each to them. It'd be really nice to have Demon form right now. Alright, there's those dazes. Go ahead and knock those out of our decks. And we're gonna go ahead and Whirlwind. No, we're not. We're gonna get some damage, prevent that 11. Keep building that strength up. Get rid of some more. I have a need for these cards in my deck. I want more. Thankfully, we won't be getting more dazes. There's a demon form. So now we can pretty much just hold off until we can kill Spiker with Reaper. And he'll back up to full. So we're healing exactly for what he's dealing damage to us for. We can deal 27. So what we're gonna I'd rather be able to wait and take them out at once. Taking 13 is quite a bit. So he's going to be doing 5. We're going to take him down a few points here. He's going to do 6 to himself, that'll take him down to 50. Since that's in play, we're going to go ahead and bash him. Guaranteed kill next turn at the low cost of HP. So we're going to go ahead and Reaper him. And we're back to full. Gear Reaper. I don't have a need for any more cards. We're at a really good standpoint. 21 cards in our deck isn't terrible. We got the meal ticket, not that we need it, we heal plenty. And we're just gonna keep working this. Keep working these self-harming cards. I don't know what the Ironclad's got going on with them. We can don the Red Mask. Tomb of Lord Red Mask. A highly ornamented tomb can be seen on the other side of a floating path. Upon reaching the tomb, you notice a slot for gold coins with a scratched out inscription above it. We already have the Red Mask. What do we get if we don the Red Mask again? Oh, we gain 222 gold. You don the mask and the tomb starts to flake away. A secret passage. The passage is lined with countless stolen goods and mounds of gold. You know, I think that's the first time I've seen that without having the Red Mask. Every time I think I haven't had it, so it's always just given it to me. Oh, the transient. Transient. He is a difficult person to deal with. He likes to deal a lot of damage. He likes to take a lot of damage. If we deal damage, his strength is reduced for the amount of that damage. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be dual wielding, right off the back, we're going to be dual wielding our Hemokinesis. This is not something I want to mess with. He has a potential to do a tremendous amount of damage. I don't want to deal with it. Neither should any of you. I gotta take this off. Alright, so we have Intimidate, so he's going to be dealing 25% less, so that's going to take him down to 30. And then we're going to play our Feel No Pains for when we get to that level. And we're going to be doing Hemokinesis, taking that blood for blood down to 0. There we go. We don't have a need right now. I mean, really, we just need to last for five turns. He's not doing that much damage. The nice thing about Hemokinesis here is we're gonna take him all the way back down to 0. Or not. These decrease attack damage by 38. He was doing 38 damage. Maybe I don't understand all mechanics of the game then. I was under the impression that you did damage based on what he was at. And it took him down. So we're gonna Corruption here. We're gonna play, give him some vulnerability. Reduce his strength. We're up to 45 now. And gonna give him a good old Really Shirley. Alright, so let's go ahead and can we kill him? That'd be cool if we could kill him. It's not gonna happen. But we're gonna do our dual wield on our Reaper. He's gonna die this turn, so we want to make sure we're at full HP. So we're gonna knock him all the way out, down to 0, and then we're gonna heal, and then he's dead, and we get to leave another floor with full HP. Fruit Juice, not gonna play that, unfortunately. Dark Embrace, whenever a card is exhausted, draw 1 card. Very important card draw that we're missing. So what is that? 1, 2, 7, 8 opportunities to draw. If we get it early enough. We're gonna have opportunities to upgrade it, so let's go ahead and take it. The Nemesis. The Nemesis is quite interesting. So what he does is every other turn he gives himself an intangible, and what that intangible does is it only allows him to take 1 damage every single time. So we're gonna be reducing our deck hand size. We're gonna dual wield our Hemokinesis right off the back. It already knows what we want to do. I love how my nunchaku and my pen nib is like one off, and I keep forgetting that. Like, it's a simple thing to remember that I need to be paying attention to these. And I never do. Alright, so he's going to be dealing some damage. Thankfully we were able to block the majority of it. And we've got a good setup here for Reaper on one of these off turns. Even more so now that we just picked up a demon form. So we're going to play our Feel No Pain. We're going to hold off for Blood for Blood. The reason why we want to do that is we want to get back to our dual wield if possible. Alright, so he's going to be trying to hit us for 18. We're going to reduce his strength down to 12. Play another Feel No Pain. And we're going to go ahead and defend out. We're only going to be doing 1 damage to him, so there's no point in playing anything right now. We have a Rupture and a Dark Embrace to draw next. So that'll reduce our hand size again. Dark Embrace. And thank you yet again, Medical Kit. I'm so glad I took you early on. I'm able to just remove this burn, get some defense out of it, and move on with this splendid dual wield for blood. I'm going to heal back the full HP, and we're going to murder the Nemesis. And I get to draw. Oh, that's so fun. It's fun. Alright, so maybe I should play Hemokinesis first so I could have healed off of Reaper, but that's okay. It's 1. And Burning Blood's gonna bring us up to full. Happy Flower, another energy to work with, even more so than before. Having another Flame Bearer, he's not upgraded. I don't really want it. It'll be good once we have Corruption in play. So I'm going to tell myself to take it, just as a side benefit. I'm not worried about this run at all. Alright, so we have the Awakened one and his little birdie cultist. What the Awakened one does is he's going to regenerate 10 HP at the beginning of at the end of its turn. And every time we play a power, he's going to gain 1 strength. Now, at higher ascensions, this is way more important than it is at lower ascensions, and we have a lot of powers. I think we have close to 5 powers, so we have, let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 powers, so he's gonna get 7 strength. And it's important for us to play our powers rather early. At least Rupture. I gotta play that early. It's just, it is what it is. And we're gonna take our artifact now, and our dexterity now. We're gonna go ahead and take that defense. outside of that, I only plan on playing Ruptures and Demon forms this first act. When we kill him the first time, he's going to come back to life, even stronger. So what we're going to do is we're going to play our defenses, we're going to play our Blood for Blood, and our Whirlwinds. At least knock out one of these guys. Alright, we're up to 5. Unfortunately, we played our Blood for Blood, so we can't do dual wield yet. Maybe we can for Hemokinesis, and it's just going to give us a buttload of strength, so maybe we should. And that's completely what we plan on doing. So we're going to enlighten down. Do we want to enlighten down yet? We don't want to enlighten down yet. We're going to play our Hemokinesis. Get some strength out of the scenario. He's done though. So we're up to 5 strength already. Yeah, he's going to hit us for 28. It's something I'm completely comfortable with right now. You know, he's not going to take us down all the way. It's physically impossible for us to die here. And this is why. So we have almost every card in our deck now, -1, that's going to get upgraded now. So every card's upgraded. We can now do Enlightenment. Now, order is important here. If we play Demon form, we'd be wasting energy, so we can Enlighten. And remember, I said we'd only be playing Ruptures in Demon form, this first form. We're gonna go ahead and disarm him. Play our Flame Barrier. And play our defense. We're gonna hold off onto this second Flame Barrier. Alright, so we can do our Intimidate now. We're going to play our last Rupture. That only gives him, what, 3? So I guess that Strength took off his Curiosity. So we're going to let him keep hitting himself in the face. And yeah, we're gonna hold off. Alright, now, one of these times I'm going to draw my dual wield again so I can start healing. But we're going to keep gaining the strength. Keep letting him hit himself in the face. Alright, so on the same trajectory. Fortunately, we don't get to let him hit himself in the face again, but we do get to do quite a bit of damage. Alright, so there's our dual wield. That'll be good for Reaper. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play our Hemokinesis first. Get that strength up to 25. We're gonna dual wield our Reaper now. So as soon as we start next turn, we can go ahead and start blocking. Now, that being said, he's in a state of stasis. So anything we play right now isn't gonna affect his strength. So we can finish playing our Dark Embrace and our Feel No Pains. The reason why I want to play our Feel No Pain is we're going to block. We're going to be exhausting. So we're going to get block off of this. The other nice thing is our Pin Nib is ready for our Reaper. So we're going to go back straight automatically up all the way to full HP. And then we're going to let him hit himself in the face again. A lot. And then next turn we're going to be playing Whirlwind, and that will be the end of the Awakened one. 41 damage times 4. Pretty sure that's going to be enough. Was that 164 damage? So maybe I can't do math. But if we do that, yeah, 61. Proceed. So thump, to thump, to thump. A deep pulsing dread can be felt throughout the room. Is this the heart of the spire, the source of this evil? You ready your blade? You deal 766 damage. The heart squirms and bleeds, but is ultimately still pounding. Are your mightiest attacks not enough? You ask yourself, have I been here before? You feel that you have dealt a total of 84,543 damage to the heart. A total of 14 billion damage has been dealt by all who have challenged it. The heart pulses louder and louder as your consciousness fades and you sleep. Victory! Thank you all for joining me on my first playthrough, Slay the Spire. At least first that's going on Twitch and going on YouTube. Thank you all for this opportunity and joining me for this. I know it was a long run, 2 hours is long, but I want this to be explained, and I will be turning fast mode on from now on, so we'll be able to get through this a little faster. We get to unlock 4, so we got heavy blade, spot weakness, and limit break. Next episode is going to be the silent. So my goal is to get through each character one step at a time. And we have unlocked the Watcher. So we'll be able to do this with all 4 characters over the course of this journey. And we have unlocked our first key. We can't fight the heart until we beat the game with all 3 of the main characters. Again, thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you have a lovely evening. We will be back tomorrow evening. I hope. I have a birthday party to go to, so worst case scenario, you might not see me till Sunday, but I look forward to this journey with everybody, and have a good night.